Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our EAFC 25 RTG career mode. We are back today with another big episode as there's just 14 games left to play in the Premier League. We've got big games coming today, including Newcastle away at St James's Park and Chelsea and Spurs, who sit either side of us in the Premier League in second and fourth. We should also see the draw for the last 16 of the Conference League, as the first legs of the playoff round have just been played. But we're just going to dive straight into our first game of the episode. It is that trip to St James's Park against the Newcastle side, who are having a pretty poor season, currently down in 13th place, but have got the quality to cause us some problems here. Come on, the Potters. Yeah, we didn't have a particularly great time in the previous episode. Knocked out of both domestic cups in the space of about a week, as Oskarsson, lovely take, Oskarsson, big block, as we were knocked out of the EFL Cup in the semi-final and lost to Brighton on the South Coast in the third round of the FA Cup. But we had big league victories against Manchester United and Spurs, and I'd love to follow that on with a big win here at St James's Park. It's been a great start to the game. Just haven't been able to find that breakthrough goal yet, as a cagey and Oskarsson, oh, it's found its way in. How on earth did that sneak in? Probably the strangest goal the Iceman has scored all season long, but we'll take it. Yeah, that header seemed to be in slow motion there, but it was planted into the corner by Oskarsson, and this is a great run by Elanga. There's the skipper Bay and Diamonde coming onto it. And that's a good stop by Costa, who held on as well. Oh my goodness, what on earth is going on? Newcastle are all over the place at the back at the moment. We've got to capitalise on this. Oh my god, what is Costa doing? Well, there are a fair few goalkeepers in the Premier League who, when they've got the ball at their feet, do not look comfortable. One of those being Robert Sanchez. As a Chelsea fan, I can tell you that for sure. Another of those is Spurs goalkeeper Vicario, who Gary Neville once said looks like he's got frogs in his pants, and you can add Diogo Costa to that list as well, because he has not looked comfortable out there today. Haven't been able to capitalise on the one goal advantage that we currently hold, but we've been the better side today. That's lovely football. Million strike blocked, and Elanga gets there first. There's Boz, and he'll win the corner. Oh, dangerous ball into Isak. Isak spins Flamingo, and Flamingo, tried to stand him up, and it's rolled back to Alexis McAllister, who drills in the equaliser with 5 to play. Well, it's all over here in the north, and not a terrible result against a strong Newcastle side, but so gutting to throw it away in the final 5 or 10 minutes. And I should have known it was coming with our defence this season. We have just not been able to see games out, and it's another poor display from the backline as we're unable to keep a clean sheet once again. Well, as we get back to the menus and we sim through to our next game, I believe we should have seen the draw for the Conference League as we drop down to 4th place. No, it's not in there, but those games have been played. Let's check the calendar, where it's going to be Shakhtar Donetsk. Okay, interesting. We faced them in the league phase, just narrowly beat them by 2 goals to 1, but that's actually probably one of the hardest ties we could have had. That'll come in today's episode, both legs, and I'm feeling confident we can make it through, but that's quite a tricky test, that. But anyway, we'll jump into our next game, a winnable one away at the City Ground against a Nottingham Forest side currently sat in the relegation zone and 4 points from safety. They need the points down at the bottom, but with just 4 wins all season long, this has to be a return to winning ways for Stoke City. Come on, the Potters. Well, I'll tell you what, it's not been a very good opening half hour here. We have not played particularly well, but that slid into Elanga. Plays the 1-2 off the defender. Diamonde does well. Recovers that nicely. And Danilo. Sainz making the move ahead of him. Sainz will shoot. It will come for Bay. Oh, what a flick. And Oskarsson onside. What an assist by the skipper. Yeah, Monday pinches it straight from kickoff. Could be a chance here. Oskarsson through to Bay. Whoop! see you later. And Bay makes it 2. What a brilliant goal from Stoke. And that should be enough. I don't see Forest coming back from this, even with how poor we've been defensively this campaign. Oskarsson repays the favour to the skipper, and Stoke looks set for a return to winning ways. Corner for the host, goes short, swung into the middle. Million wins that, and now Danilo finds Sidibe. Could be a chance on the break, as Elanga turning on the afterburners against his former club. We've seen this from Elanga before, and Anthony Elanga, it's 3. And that will certainly do it. What a signing the Swede has proved to be this season. He's been so important for us, and he is absolutely electric on the flanks. 3-0, game over, and a big 3 points for Stoke. Well, the first half performance was a little bit sluggish from Stoke City, but the wonderful goal from Oskarsson woke us up, and in that second half we were much, much better. A big win for the Potters that will keep us in the top 4 with 13 to go. Jumping straight into our next one as we return back home to the Britannia, taking on an old rival, Leeds United, but they, like Forest, towards the bottom half of the table, and a side we should be looking to pick up all 3 points against. Come on, the Potters. Well, really poor first half of football, and kicking off the second here, Leeds United still in the game. We've not done well enough, and we are just not doing enough defensively. We've got to be winning those sorts of 50-50s, and Danilo's just reduced him. But honestly, man, defensively, we're just so, like, half-hearted, as Lookman wins the header and Bilal will claim, but we've not been good enough in this opening half. And Bay down the left. Gruev comes across. Bay beats him. And Oskarsson in a little pocket of space. First time we've really forced the Leeds keeper into a save. But much better start to this second half. As Elanga, I was trying to pick out Bay on the edge. Free kick for Leeds. Really, really dangerous position. Got a few bodies over it. It's laid off. And struck by Aronson. And Bilal does really well to turn it away. Nonto swings the corner in. Elanga wins the header. And now Kata finds Sainz. Is there a chance on the break? Sainz switches it for Elanga, who heads on to Boz. And Boz using that pace to get away. Brilliant from Boz. Ref! Penalty! No, it's not going to be given. Oh, we're in trouble here. Look at the space on the break. Nonto looks to exploit that space and the pace. Ball crossed into the middle. Lookman! We've lost it. Brilliant goal from Leeds on the break. And Ademola Lookman, who always scores against me in this save, gives Leeds the opening goal and all 3 points here at the Britannia. This is just not good enough from Stoke. Well, really disappointing result that, and it's not many times this season that we have failed to score with the league's top scorer and our deadly front 3 behind him. Not many teams keep us out. The gap now cut to just 3 points to 5th and 6th place Man United and West Ham. But time to turn our attention back to the Conference League. We've got a serious chance of winning this competition this season, but a tricky 2-legged affair against Shakhtar to come. First leg away in Ukraine, where we face them in the league phase before we return back home to the Britannia in the second leg. And we've got a huge clash against second place Spurs sandwiched in between. Come on, the Potters. Yeah, we of course won here on match day 1 of the Conference League phase, but we did have to come from behind that day, and Shakhtar gave us a good game. I'm expecting a tricky 2-legged affair here, and especially away from home in this first leg. I wouldn't be surprised if we are tied heading back to England. Oh, sugar, honey, iced tea, what a save, Bilal. Ooh, that was a big save, and Lewis Skelly will win it back. But honestly, we have not turned up today. Shakhtar looking to win it, and with 15 to play, will there be a goal, or will we be heading back to England deadlocked as Mitrovic has it pinched off him at the last second? And Lewis Skelly going on. Lewis Skelly denied down the other end. Well, there is the whistle. And it is a really, really poor game, guys. 0-0 here in Ukraine. Not the worst result in the world. Heading back to England. And I'm just hoping we get a dry pitch in that return leg. Because, honestly, I just could not create a thing today. Had a rotated side, so as I say, not the worst result in the world. But anyway, we'll move on pretty swiftly from that, as it was a terrible game. But we will jump into our next one against Spurs, back home at the Britannia. We beat them in the return fixture at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in an absolute thriller, with Oskarsson scoring a hat-trick. The last of which being the walk-off winner that won us the game. So hoping for another big victory against a side sat just above us in the Premier League. Come on, the Potters. Well, I'm glad to report that the sun is shining here at the Britannia. So hoping that we're going to get a good game today. And if the reverse game is anything to go by, then I think we are on for a good game. Is that going to be a free kick on the edge here? Dangerous position. Going to be Oskarsson looking to go up and over. Oskarsson just sends it over the top. I think Chevalier had it covered, but that's a promising start from Stoke. Oh, Danilo, that's nice. Bit risky, but it paid off, and now Sainz comes away with it. Still Sainz having his shirt pulled. Oskarsson's away, having his shirt pulled, but it doesn't matter as the Iceman back on the score sheet in the Premier League. As I mentioned, got a hat-trick in the return fixture and now gets his 4th of the campaign against Spurs here at the Britannia. Oh, that's a lovely ball. Maddison into Darwin Núñez, who, like Oskarsson, has a history. As Duranville gets away, there is Darwin Núñez. Lovely build-up and the shot straight down the throat of Bilal, who throws it out to Elanga. And Elanga brought down by Bissouma. Oh, and it's red. Oh, well, for once it's not a Stoke City man getting sent off. But I think that's harsh. I think a yellow card probably would have sufficed. But Yves Bissouma, well, it was a naughty challenge. Sent for an early bath, and Stoke in a great position to see this out. Well, Spurs have still got loads of attackers out there. There is definitely still more goals today. It's Darwin Núñez finds his man, gets it back. Darwin Núñez, and there is the next goal. Right on the stroke of half-time. 10-man Tottenham back in the game. And who else but Darwin Núñez? Well, as much as it pains me to say, what a wonderful goal from Núñez. The ball through to him was superb. And the finish, Tony Yeboah style, off the underside of the crossbar. And it bounced back out as well. It's so clean when you see goals like that. But I said there'd be more goals, and I'm going to say it again because there will be. And Darwin Núñez, for 10-man Tottenham, has turned the game around. Spurs lead by 2-1, and this is just not good enough. Oskarsson. Bay, back to Oskarsson. Oskarsson in. Oskarsson scores. 2-2. Game on again. This is incredible. As Oskarsson to Bay. And now Elanga out wide. And Elanga swings in the early cross. What a ball. Oskarsson! What a header. Well, he couldn't really miss. But with how hard headers are in FC 25 nowadays, that's a great goal. A lovely cross from Elanga down the right, whips it in early, and Oskarsson has back-to-back Premier League hat-tricks against Tottenham this season. Yeah, man, our games against Tottenham are just absolute chaos. And look, there's still chances on the break. They're leaving so many men forward, and there's just such a big gap for the skipper. And Bay to Oskarsson, and he has 4. And Stoke City have 4. And Stoke City have the 3 points in the bag as well. Surely now. 2-goal advantage, a man advantage. Oskarsson running Spurs ragged. Well, not only were the 4 goals from Oskarsson huge in the context of today's game, but also in his hunt for 40 goals. I think he may have reached 30. And with over 10 games left to play, he is potentially on track to hit that target of 40 goals. Well, the target I set him was 20. He's going for double that. But anyway, we will head into our next game. Crazy one here at the Britannia, and we're staying at home in midweek on Thursday night as we welcome Shakhtar Donetsk, looking to make it through to the quarterfinals, where we are one of the favourites to win the competition, but work to do in this second leg if we are to make it through. Come on, the Potters. Well, again, like against Spurs, happy to report it is a dry and lovely night for football as Bilal bails me out early doors. And we saw in that last game against Spurs, we can score plenty of goals, even against 10 men. But so far here, we've looked very, very ropey in these early stages as Traore looks to get in again and Lawal will shepherd it back to Bilal. But come on, lads, we've got to make sure there's no slip-ups here. Gomez, lovely little drop of the shoulder. Ball slipped through. Traore onside, and this time he's missed the target. We are lucky to still be level here. Well, really poor first half performance from Stoke City, and we're lucky that it's still 0-0. And against a better side, no disrespect to Shakhtar, we would have been punished. And we need to up our game in this second half as Sidibe comes down the left, finds Mitrovic, and he can't find Asensio. Oh my God, how has that happened? Traore through, and Bilal bails me out again, but that just cannot happen. Well, Shakhtar have been the much better side here tonight as Lawal does well to get a toe in. Kata can drive us forward. Lovely work by Mahali. Mitrovic, not the quickest, but nice hold up. Finds Asensio on the weaker right foot, and it was pretty central, but still had to be turned away by the keeper. Much better from Stoke as Elanga swings that ball in for Lawal. What a save! What a save! And that's the closest we've come. Elanga to Asensio. Back to Anthony Elanga. Looking to use his pace to come infield and now out. And Elanga still Anthony Elanga. Mitrovic blocked, and Mitrovic again. Can't turn it in. And that looks as if it will be that. Heading to extra time. Still deadlocked at 0-0 in this tie. And neither side could find the breakthrough after 2 matches of football. Cross comes in. Flamingo had to win that and did really well. And now Elanga on the break. Can we push the pace? Elanga to Bay. Oscarson ahead of him. It will reach Oscarson. And the skipper, surely. Well, we have won it. And we maybe don't deserve it. But I'm glad it's not going to penalties, because that is a complete lottery. But we had to call on our key players off the bench. Elanga played his part. Oscarson too. But it is the skipper Bay that will send us through to the quarterfinals of the Conference League. Not particularly pretty, but we've made it through nonetheless. Well, as we get back to the menus, we'll find out who we'll face in the quarterfinals of the Conference League. Hoping to avoid Torino, and it's not here yet. I think they are most likely to be our competitors for the competition, so I'm hoping to avoid them. Who will be taking on... Oh no! It is the Italians. Oh, I can't believe it. I thought they were going to be the team to face us in the final. I think ourselves and Torino are the 2 strongest sides in the competition. But we're going to meet them before the final, as we will take them on over 2 legs in the quarterfinals. That is going to be a crazy 2-legged affair, and I'm really, really looking forward to that. But right, we'll just jump straight into our next game. We'll have a few more to close out the episode, as it's been pretty manic with some crazy games. But West Ham away from home at the London Stadium. They got a really, really strong side in this save, and they're going for Champions League football, just 3 points off 4th place. A win here will do them the world of good and pull them right back into things as we look to keep ourselves away from the chasing pack. Come on, the Potters. Joe Linton driving on, giving him too much time and space. Nicely worked that. Bassi does well, and then can't get there, and that's going to be 1 for West Ham. Oh dearie me, pushing for Champions League football, and Adam Project gives them the lead here. Great squad that they've got. They beat us in the return fixture and they're going for the double here to keep their dreams of Champions League football alive. Yeah, the win against Spurs was superb, but if we fall to defeat here, it's going to undo a lot of that work that we did at the Britannia, and it'll just make our league position feel very, very precarious as Sainz does well. And there's the skip looking for the instant leveller, off the post and in. And Bay, who scored the winner against Shakhtar, scores in back-to-back games to get us back on level terms. Need a big win here that will put us in a great position to qualify for the Champions League next season. Langer finds Bay. And Bay going on. And Bay still. Lovely feet. Elanga slides it through to Oskarsson. How on earth did that ball get through? We won't mind though. Oskarsson back on the score sheet in the Premier League. Goal number 31 as he's now 9 away from reaching 40 with 9 games left to play. Can he do it? Yeah, as I mentioned a couple of episodes ago, only 2 players have ever scored 40 league goals in a top flight division for me, and they are in the illustrious 40 club. And oh, that's a naughty tackle by Danilo. Oskarsson has a great chance to join them here with 9 games left to play after this. He has 31 league goals. It's been 2 years of playing FC and FIFA since anyone managed it last. Can the Iceman join the illustrious club and reach 40 this season? Benacer, maybe time for one last West Ham attack. Benacer, great run, dinks it into the middle for Klojek. What a save, Bilal. Huge save by our number 1. And he rescues the points right at the death. That would have been so frustrating had we thrown that away. And as it was falling onto the boot of Klojek, I was fearing the worst. But Bilal with a big, big save as Stoke City will escape London with all 3 points. That is a huge win to put us in a great position for Champions League football. And if we can win our next game, returning back home to the Britannia against Everton, that will be the perfect end to the episode. Come on the Potters. Castro, away from Flamingo too easily. Bassi does well. And will just about scramble it away. What a save by Bilal at the back stick. Keeping us level here as we now come forward down the other end with Sainz. And the Spaniard finds Oskarsson, surely for one. What a turnaround from one end to the other. We're such a good counter-attacking team. And Oskarsson, who needs to average a goal a game in the final Premier League fixtures, has got his goal today as he hunts down 40 for the season. Stoke City lead again. Bilal goes long to Oskarsson. Don't see us going route 1 very often, but last few chances of the half as that's rolled through to Bay, and Bay makes it 2. And that's why we went long, because we knew we didn't have time to build an attack. Went long to the Iceman, who won the knockdown, and we play our way forward and double our advantage as we look set for back-to-back victories in the Premier League. Corner for Stoke. Diamande goes short. Bay swings it in. It might go all the way in. It's off the line and cleared away. That could have gone anywhere. Oh, that's better from Bassi. Really strong defending. And now it's the Iceman. Oskarsson for 3. Doesn't miss those. 32 for the season for Oskarsson. And he is coming for that 40 goal club. In fact, there might even be 33 for the season for the Iceman. And he'll be looking for his 34th here as Bay sent down the left. Bay comes infield. Lovely feet. Oskarsson from the angle denied the hat-trick. Well, unfortunately, no hat-trick today for the Iceman, but I think it is 33 in the Premier League. I'll double check as we close out the episode, but that will do it for today, guys. desperately trying to get the Iceman to 40 goals and desperately trying to make sure we qualify for the Champions League next season. We'll be back in the next episode with some big fixtures in the Premier League and that Conference League quarter-final tie against Torino, which is going to be huge. I'll catch you for that very soon. Take care and peace.